Here is the thing. If all of you will turn the adjustment on your ear, each moment of life experience in which you are focused, giving you new opportunity for identifying desire. What about that? In other words, no perfect moment. No moment in which everything is exactly as you want it to be. Continuing, adjusting moments, where in every segment of every moment, something else happens for you to respond to. And so it is not so much what is happening as it is what is your response to it. In other words, if you are waiting for the perfect moment in time where everything is just as you need it to be for your world to be a perfect world, then there will undoubtedly be some frantic adjustment, some frustration. But if instead you hold the knowing that all is well anyway, and nothing matters really very much anyway, and that one way or another you'll get it molded into something that works for you, so that the platform of your experience is one that says all really is well, and perfection is an illusion, but new desire is an inevitable result of contrasting life experience. And when you begin to realize that in every imperfect moment, and they all are, because we are eternal, in every imperfect moment comes the new clarifying preference. And as the new clarifying preference is born, and you do not stay doggedly focused on what has given birth to the preference, but instead you adjust and relax into the idea of what you have concluded that you prefer, it is amazing how quickly universal resources come round to accommodate you in your new desire. It is a wonderful thing how every consciousness, whether you are a full-fledged genius human, or whether you are a cell in a human body, or whether you are the one-celled amoeba in the ocean, or any particle within the universe, every particle is consciousness, and every consciousness is asking, and every asking is responded to, and every response can be received if you will relax and allow yourself to be a vibrational match to that which you are reaching for. Most of you have heard that on many occasions from us. Most of you are getting the sense of what deliberate creating is. And you are following us as we modify even the title of this gathering from Science of Deliberate Creation, science meaning it is always evolving, deliberate meaning you are consciously aware of what you are wanting and do it on purpose, to Art of Allowing, which really speaks more fully to what your part in deliberate creation is. Your part in deliberate creation is allowing yourself to be connected to the energy that is your source. It's such a wonderful thing when you realize that Source is responding to you, and that the only thing that ever separates you from anything that you have already consciously or even unconsciously concluded that you desire, the only thing that ever separates you is your vibrational inconsistency with that. And the only way that you could ever be vibrationally inconsistent with your own desire is that you're focused upon something other than your desire. Sometimes physical friends have a hard time hearing that because they say, Abraham, no, I am not focused upon my desire. I know what I want, and I think about it often. And we say, are you really focused upon what you desire? Or are you focused upon where you stand in relationship to your desire? Are you focused upon the desire itself, or are you focused upon the absence of the desire? When you are asking for money, does the idea of the money that is coming thrilling you, or are you worried? That is the telling way, because if you are worried about the money that you are desiring, then you are inconsistent with the vibration of the desire. If you are worried about your health, then you are inconsistent with the vibration of your desire. If you are worried about your relationship or unhappy about anything, then you are inconsistent with the vibration of your desire. So as you begin to realize that the way you feel is your indicator of your consistency or inconsistency with your desire, of your allowing or your resistance to your desire, of your connection or your less than connection with your energy of source. So when we talk about allowing, the first place you have to start is with the premise that the only thing that flows is well-being, and I will allow it. That's what allowing is. Allowing is finding a way, any way, to find a way of focusing so that I can then be a vibrational match to that which I desire. And certainly, as has been very aptly demonstrated in this room here today, there are any number of things other than what you desire that could, in any moment in time, take your attention. But you are the ones that get to decide how much of your attention you give to what is, how much of your attention you give to what is coming, how much of your attention you give to the past that pleases you, how much of your attention you give to the past that doesn't please you, how much of your attention you give to the now that pleases you, how much of your attention you give to the now that doesn't please you, how much of your attention you give to the future that pleases you, how much of your attention you give to the future that doesn't please you. And the thing we so much want you to hear is that you get to choose, and until you decide that you get to choose, until you decide that you are going to choose, until you say, I am determined to feel good, which means I am determined, whether I am perusing past, present, or future, I am determined to be a consistent vibrational match to the energy of my source and to the energy of my desire, which means I want to feel good. It means even more than that. I'm going to feel good. It means I'm going to go to any length. I'm going to practice good thoughts until they are so active in my vibration that law of attraction becomes my very best friend. Because when you take the time, and it doesn't take much time, to focus upon something that feels good, and you sort of milk it, you stay there until you don't just sort of feel good, you really feel good. You stay there not just because you're trying to fulfill Abraham's request for finding 17 seconds that feel good, but you stay there because it feels so good to feel good. It feels so natural to feel good. And as you begin to practice thoughts that feel good and make the conscious association between those that do and those that don't, and the deliberate determination to gravitate more and more to those that feel good, what happens is you begin to activate within yourself a vibration that matches consistently the vibration of your source. And then law of attraction only delivers to you those things that are a vibrational match to that. That's why the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. It's also why the worse it gets, the worse it gets, the worse it gets. You saw, we focused only minuscule, only briefly upon something troubling. And did you ever see anything in your life? You open a vortex where you focus upon something unwanted, and law of attraction will amplify that again and again and again and again. The good news is that in any moment you can turn your attention to something that feels better. And the key is you must make a decision. I'm going to turn my attention before the conditions change. Because if you need the conditions to change before you turn your attention, the conditions usually get much worse before they get better. If you say, I will turn my attention anyway, because the way I feel is in response to what I've turned my attention to, and there is always a myriad of choices that I could turn my attention to, now you are a deliberate creator. If you are observing the condition of your environment and having an emotional response to it, you are a regurgitator of life experience. You are an observer and a responder too. You are creating by default. You are not doing it by deliberate intent, and you are certainly not using the guidance system that you were born with. The guidance system that you were born with is really predicated upon your understanding that it is good to feel good. And sometimes that's a hard hurdle to jump when you've been trained in an environment that says good doesn't mean good. Good means moving towards something that ultimately you don't want. It is really a screwy thing how so many of our physical human friends have come to a clear decision that if it feels good, it probably isn't, and if it's painful, it would probably lead to good. And you've really got carried away in that story. You even teach one another in large masses globally that the worse you feel while you are physically focused, the better you will feel when you're dead. And we say clearly, no one here saying that is speaking from the perspective of dead. We are. We are as dead as it gets. And we are here to tell you that you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. But that this journey is much longer and much bigger and much better feeling than the physical glimpse sometimes tells you. And what we mean by that is, even if you were to pinch yourself off substantially from the joy that is your natural resource, many of the days of your physical experience, it is our promise to you that in the moment of your reemergence into non-physical, you will rejoin the energy of pure positive. And so, there is no ending to our journey. But it is a joy-based journey. And the physical glimpse is small in relationship to the totality of that which we are all about. And we want to clarify that a little bit, because that could bring forth a little confusion to those who are really listening to us here today. You are much more than you see in these physical bodies. You are source energy. You are very old, very wise energy, and you have enjoyed many experiences. So this source that is you, that is pouring through this physical personality, is pure positive energy and is joyful in all moments. This is the energy of eagerness and of anticipation and of love and appreciation. This is the basis of that which you are. And so, as this energy pours to you and through you, it has that experience. The Abraham that is within you, the God that is within you, has the experience of joy no matter what experience you are having. The energy of source, as it pours through a sick body, is not having the experience of sickness. The energy of source that pours through a body that is experiencing poverty or trauma is not having that poverty or trauma experience. And the reason that we are here expressing to you in the way that we are is because we would like very much if you could join us in the joyful experience that you provide. Here you are, extensions of source energy, exploring contrast and coming to new, eternally new preferences, because that which you are about has never been before unto all of the universe. So the you and the you, meaning the physically focused you and the non-physical energy that is really you, as you experience this now moment, we want you in on it. We would like you to be as joyful as we all are. So when you feel those thrill bumps rippling through you, that is a confirmation of a thought that you have found that perfectly matches the frequency of your source. That means you're in alignment. When you feel joyful, you're in alignment. When you feel passion, you're in alignment. When you are frolicking and romping, when you are having those sensual, delicious experiences, you are extensions of source energy. When you feel pain, when you feel sorrow, when you feel anger, when you feel frustration, when you feel overwhelmment, when you feel hate or any of those emotions that feel so empty and awful when you find them, those emotions let you know every single time without exception that you have found a thought and you've activated it within your vibrational countenance well enough that it has become the dominant vibration right here, right now. And in that moment of choosing a dominant vibration that's really off signal from your source, you feel the separation from your source. Separation is too strong a word, but you get the point.